will take the picture.
Yeah. Or, even if you're just writing the, like any snippets or what's going on, feel free. Suchi is our ambassador guru here, teaching us how to reach people and connect with them. So yeah, Suchi, whatever you think is appropriate. So Shivo, shall we get started?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Also see Abhishek, Aurora. Hi, Abhishek. Okay, so since we have a few new people, I'm going to start with sharing about Quanto Life. So pranam, everyone. It's so wonderful to have you here today. I feel if you are here today, in some way you've been called to observe collectively the feminine masculine dynamic in the world and become a part of strengthening this union, healing this union. So welcome to you all. So Quanto Life is a unique spiritual path, and it is created for exactly the current very chaotic, fast-paced times. Our founder is Quanto Shivo, and it is, and he's someone that I can introduce every single time, and every time the introduction can be different. He's a true polymath, a man of multiple talents, and it is just so amazing to have an enlightened mystic who's looking into the worldly issues. Shivo is also he's also an inventor of the space-time astrological model, which is based on yugas. And this is the research he has done for more than 8 years. And he will be presenting the part today that deals with the masculine-feminine dynamics. We've done this workshop, Aardhanarishwar, before. This is a yearly program that we which we do immediately following Shivratri. And I believe that this is the program in Quanto Life from which all of the programs originate, because this is the program of union, and when there is union, there is creation. So I welcome Shivo. Pranam, Shivo.
Yes, pranam.
So Shivo, last year when we talked about Aardhanarishwar, when we had the workshop, the message was to to look into the different chakras, the energy centers of the body. And you taught us how to, because everyone knows about chakras. There are so many, so many people have explored and all, but you taught us how to ground every single chakra in space. Okay. What is the way we connect them to space? And this time we are doing a slightly different kind of program, where the message has come is to deal with the worldly issues that people face every day with respect to masculine and feminine in different spheres.
This year, the workshop is going to be totally different than how it was last time. Last time, as we discussed about masculine, feminine side of each chakras and how to ground them in space, this time we are taking up issues like how the masculine feminine dynamics have changed in recent times, and the understanding, the wisdom we have about masculine feminine dynamics is very traditional. It's like grounded thousands of years back in that consciousness. So that consciousness is no more effective now, because these issues have come up now in past 25 years, 50 years, or past 300 years. Suddenly the dynamics have changed. So we don't yet know how to handle them. And yet they are so much in part of our life that there is no way we can evade handling those issues. So in this year, in this workshop, we are going to discuss how to deal with these issues which have now come up. And we will, of course, we will be describing what are the kind of issues we face today, of which we have actually no solution, no answer. Yes, Mansi.
Shivu, so I want to invite everyone to share any questions they have. So we had posted an inquiry question on the guest group, the guest Aardhanarishwar group, and it was like, how has the masculine feminine relationship? What has been your relationship with the opposite gender? Has it been smooth or has it been turbulent? And we also
Today,
said that
Mansi,
how
we
do you
also
deal with
have
it?
Kelly. Did you see? Kelly is also there.
Yes, I just saw her. Hi, Kelly. I see Kelly, I see Renuka, I see Sarika, Dimple. Oh, Harnoor, awesome. Nitika, Sanjoy. Hi, Kelly. Where are you, Kelly? I haven't seen Kelly in so long.
Hi guys, sorry, I didn't have
Hi.
audio on. So good to see you all. Glad to be here.
Hey. Lovely.
So, I have a small question for Shivaji.
Yes.
Shivaji, you mentioned that the relationship, the equation between the masculine and the feminine has changed. Could you give us a little bit of this as to how do you think it was earlier and how has it changed now?
See, look around. All the principles of marriage and family. What was the crux of that for past 10,000 years? The crux was survival. Humanity facing very difficult times and it had to survive. So all the relationship structures, all the family structures were designed towards stability. It has to be stable. Now suddenly we are in the times where the humanity wants to fly in the sky. So it doesn't need to be stable. In fact, the stability has become its block. So for these dynamic times, for these creation-oriented times, those models are not sufficient. That's why if you see so much divorce, families are collapsing, families have become so small, and a lot of people think that it is something bad. A lot of people think that the solution they give for these times is that bring back the old relationship values, old kind of marriage that used to exist. Um, again begin to follow the family norms, how family was so important. That's the solution people give, but that's no more possible. That is all past. So my feeling is that this transition we are going through, that these collapsing families, collapsing marriages, there is a new possibility being seeded here. We don't need to resent it. We need to embrace it. And we need to find ways to deal with it. Because the new structure which will emerge will be very different. And in that is hidden our leap, our evolutionary leap of humanity. So we don't need to resent. There are so many divorces and families have collapsed and families are very small. These are not the issues to resent. So this is what we really need to look at, that what are the issues which have gotten created in recent times and how to deal with that.
Okay.
Earlier we had the concept, husband, wife till you die. Isn't it? One life, one love. Is that a right paradigm in today's times?
Not at all.
See, a lot of people resent it, that everything has become so unstable. Relationships have become so unstable. There are so many, people accepted the premarital affairs, which was not acceptable just some time back. But they can't make up with the post-marital affairs, isn't it? And yet they are very much the reality. So the question is how to deal with all these issues in a very conscious way. In QuantoLife, we don't deal with issues in moralistic ways. This is not a path of moral. This is a path of consciousness. So the consciousness has changed. And if we are trying to impose the old morals into these issues, there is going to be a disaster. And that is a disaster we all face in our lives. If you look around, you will see disasters everywhere. Because we have not embraced the current consciousness. We are struggling with it. We are trying to impose the old consciousness into this. So this is what the workshop is going to be about. Yes, Mansi, please.
So I'm going to call on some people who had already shared their inquiry question. Could I invite everyone? Meenaji is saying something?
No.
Kelly
I just said
is
very good, excellent. This is a perspective we all needed. And I purposely put that question because partly I'm already aware of what's happening, but partly I wanted it to be more, illicitly kind of put forward for the benefit of all of us and me also, of course. And we look forward to this thing which is coming forward. Certainly. Thank you so much.
So I want to ask everyone to just answer that inquiry question if you can, if you would like to share, what are you seeing in the man-woman relationships in your relationship with the opposite gender? If you could just share. And then there are some people who had already shared. Shivo, can I invite them? And can we take up their question?
Yeah.
And this is very, as you would have seen, it's very interactive. Please feel free to put questions in the chat. That will help us decide the order. So, so first I'd like to call upon Dirga. Dirga, are you available to talk right now?
Oh, yeah, Mansi.
So, Dirga, can you share? You talked about self-worth and self-esteem issues in the past. So, could you elaborate on how do you see your relationship with the opposite gender?
Yeah, so I think I missed out something that was a part of my childhood also. So with the opposite gender, I always feel that they are supposedly more authoritative, because of which even my relationship with my father was a little, I wouldn't call it as close as I would want it to be. I've had self-worth issues when it came to the opposite sex, say, for example, in marriage or other, in my relationship with my husband, or even later, when you have people around you who are of the opposite sex. I always feel that I'm not good enough, so that has been an issue over the years from childhood, I would say, which, yes, has become much more better in the last 3-4 years with a lot of when I've worked on myself. I've been a part of Quanto Life for the last 4 years. I've worked on myself in my sadhana, taking up those issues again and again. So they've dissolved to a very, very large extent. Another aspect was, I think I mentioned, what was the second part I mentioned? I forgot. Expressiveness. So I'm not very, I'm not able to be very expressive. I was not able to be very expressive when it came to the opposite gender. So I would say the most important people in my life of the opposite gender were my father, my brother, my husband, and of course friends, etc. But primarily 3 or 4 people who form the largest part of my life in terms of the closest people. And I think it took me a lot of time to be able to express myself completely, and still it's not up to it with everybody. Maybe with my husband it's better a lot, but with my brother it's not, and my father's already passed away, so I couldn't get enough time with him to be able to resolve that with him. So yeah.
Masi, can I say something here?
I was just giving it to you, so please go ahead.
So please, I know you'll have a lot to say, but let me.
No, I was just saying, Shivo. Please go ahead.
Where is the conflict here? Where is the conflict in terms of the descending yuga times and the ascending yuga times. In descending yuga, the consciousness was constantly coming down. So the whole issue was humanity has to survive. For survival, the stability was needed. And to make the thing stable, very, very clear-cut norms were made, which were like one life, one marriage, one love. And the morals were so strict. There were role models. Who were the role models of, what kind of women were the role models of descending yuga? The woman who has never thought about another man in her whole life, even in dreams. And there are stories of that these are the women who are the sati. And they were like, they were installed as the role models of the woman of yesterday. Now, so to achieve this, the interaction between feminine and masculine was always restricted. It was restricted only to the very, very clear-cut relationships which could be explained, which were genetic relationships, isn't it? And any other interaction outside of that was not welcome. Those who did that were considered loose character. Because what was the fear? Fear was that if that interaction begin to happen, there will be attraction issues, there will be flare-ups, and the whole society will collapse. But now, in the current times, that flare-up is needed. In the current creative times, if you don't have that flare-up, how will the creativity come? Where the creation will happen? Isn't it? So, as we started to, all those restrictions, morals, those began to dissolve, then there was a lot more interaction between masculine and feminine. It is still not reached that deep level. This interaction was feared earlier. And a lot of people have a lot of issues about it because these genders have not understood each other yet. That is why there is a constant conflict. See, we have heard so many conflict stories. All of us have those conflict stories. And something very miraculous is there in Quanto Life. I don't think anybody experienced that masculine, feminine conflict here. We don't experience. Why there is no conflict here? Because we have understood something very deep about the roles of masculine and feminine. The moment you understand that, all your conflict will vanish simply. That's what we are going to deal with in this workshop. Yes, Mansi, please, your comments.
Shivo, I wanted to share that this thing about self-esteem in a masculine, feminine, I think it is, can I just ask a show of hands if anyone here has experienced that? Because I know I have. In spite of having the most supportive men, like I have had that, which I know I've carried. I see Aruna, I see Suchi, I see Harnoor, anyone else. I see 3 names. If you have gone through it, you know, feeling that self-esteem that I'm not good enough. Okay. I see Rupali, I see Sheetal, Sneha, Manisha. And these are all extremely educated, extremely successful women. And I know I have heard this, who is DM? Okay, so I see DM also, Usha ji. And this could be true for men also, because, you know, we have both masculine and feminine. And one of the things that we see in the world is the number of women who have thyroid, you know, especially after 40. And I feel that they have had this issue, probably coming from past lives where they have been, for in that survival, maybe their submission was necessary, maybe their not expressing themselves completely was necessary to maintain that survival equation, whatever it be. But after the age of 40, when when this kind of self-esteem issue has not been solved, so many times it comes as a health issue, especially as thyroid. And I feel that this is something that really can be dealt with for the next generation. We can really. So Meenaji, which question would you like to repeat? My question was that, has anyone suffered from self-esteem issues, self-worth issues in their relationship with the other gender? So that was the question.
So one more, you very aptly pointed out that so much of the subconscious from past lives, where the women were suppressed, that has caused a lot of self-esteem issues. Also, in the current era of feminism, they were constantly pushed to compete with men, to become like men. And that has also dented their self-worth. And opposite is also happening when today a lot of men see that, okay, it's a woman-dominated world, kind of, So they are comparing themselves with women. And they are saying, oh, we are no good.
Yeah. Shivo, I completely hear that, because feminism feels like, it's a war cry. And in war, you are fighting for survival, you're fighting for past injustice, but that is not the path of bliss, and that is not the path of creation. There is creation is bliss is higher, creation is probably even higher. So, and men are facing this now, Shivo. But you have to consider even the historical perspective that we carry this in our DNA. So a man having a self-esteem issue is very, very vital, because it is a sudden shock, because that is not what men have faced. And suddenly there's a shock to the system, shock to the historical man. So I think it is different for both of them. It exists, but it just exists differently.
So it just reminded me, I want to say something very practical here. We are talking a lot in terms of concept, but saying something very practically. Okay. So one of the issue where men face self-esteem issues, between man and woman, men will always make more mistakes. And they have, first they find it difficult to accept it. And when they see it, they are saying, oh my God, why is this happening? Why I make so many mistakes? Woman doesn't make so many mistakes. But is it really bad? I've gone very deep into this inquiry. Nature of the man is such that he is an explorer. Explorer will always make more mistakes, but he will also discover much more. So this is a part of masculinity. They are going to make more mistakes than women. And this doesn't need to dent their self-worth. And also women need to understand this. The point is not about mistakes. Point is, it is their nature to explore. And they are bound to make more mistakes. And when they can learn from those mistakes, they are the one who can really bring something totally new in the world.
Shiva, Abhishek is also saying yes to that. He also said that men want to bring something new, and that spirit of adventure. And I think that is what attracts us women to them. That is what attracts us. I think we cannot be attracted to a man who will not go out into adventure and who will not.
So you are attracted to that kind of man, and you also dislike him. because you can't. I mean, you look at him and say, oh my God, he is so far worse than us. He makes so many mistakes. See, this is a conflict. That's why we can't have fulfilled relationships today. Earlier times, the so-called fulfilled relationship was very easy. There were rules, there were norms, there were morals. You just follow them. your relationship is good. Now there are no rules, no norms, no morals. Right?
Shiva, can you explain the difference between a moral and conscious? Like a moral approach, I know we have in Quanto Life, but just in case, if you could touch upon what is the difference between a moral approach and a conscious approach?
Moral is something which is written in somewhere in our scripture, or people follow it. Right? So the moral is this: respect your elders. This is the moral. You just follow it. You are a good son. You are a good daughter-in-law. Just respect your elders. Follow what they say. Isn't it? But now the big crisis has arrived. We have gone into ascending yoga where future is better than past. So the problem is you can't follow the elder ones now because they don't have the solutions. Do you see how much conflict is there? However much you may want to follow the elders because you respect them. But the problem is they don't have the solutions. So how will you follow them? So that's where you have to be very conscious that how to include the elder ones in your life and yet follow what is right. How easy it was to follow a moral that, okay, follow the elders. How difficult it is to include this contradiction in your life. And that's why the relationships were very easy. Some time back. Because relationships were also almost ruled by the elders of the home. There is a rift between husband and wife and their parents. They will sit down with them and they will explain the certain norms, certain morals. This is how a good husband is. This is how a good wife is. So follow that. And they will say, okay, yes, we made a mistake. There is a patch up. Right? It doesn't work anymore. So that's why you need a very conscious approach. And there is the problem with the conscious approaches. The problem with the ascending yoga is because future is better than present, no solution of past are going to work. In every moment, you'll have to create your own solution. Every situation will be unique and you'll have to find a unique solution. That's why we have to be very conscious. We can no more be robots. Earlier, we were like, we could be just robots. That's it.
Shiva, Harnoor has a question she has even shared on the chat. Yes, Harnoor.
Namaste, Shivoji.
Namaste.
Hi, I'm Harnoor. I've joined the tarot like 2 weeks back. So I recently ended my marriage, and for the longest time, I didn't want to get married because I felt that, people cannot be loyal because, and I wanted the loyalty to be coming from inside, not just ki bola hai to loyal hai, isse shaadi kar rahe hain, isko date kar rahe hain. My question is that I've been in a lot of spiritual communities also, and so in the spiritual communities, people don't want to stick to one person, which is okay. It's their choice. But like, how do you merge the two? Like, because I don't want to share my energy with multiple people because that's carrying too much of energies and that's going to cause chaos in my mind. And I work towards growth and self-growth. So how do you, like you said, the ascending yoga, how do you meet a partner who understands that I am I want a commitment, not because it's coming from the mind, but because it's coming from inside and you want to grow together. Because I have not met anybody till date like that. I've explored, but it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Wonderful question. Please, Shivo.
Very, very deep question, Harnoor. I really
very,
compliment you for that.
Yes.
I compliment you that you are ready to be in this space and face it. And this is the grand dilemma of ascending yoga. So let us first understand how is love different from in ascending yoga than in descending yoga? So in descending yoga, love meant that you will always take care of each other. You are certain that this person is with me, and this relationship is going to survive, so you can trust that completely, right? You know there is a factor. You know there is a person right all the time, right? This was the consciousness earlier, descending yoga consciousness, which again, as I said, it's about survival. In fact, Francie, maybe you want to, if you want, you can share the Ahilya story and the whatever understanding I have of what is the deep meaning of Ahilya story. We have discussed that earlier. So that was love. That I know this person will be there till I die with me. So only thing I need to do is I need to continue to strengthen my bonds. That was the love of descending yoga. What is the love of ascending yoga? Love of ascending yoga is when people come together, when two people become open for each other, their souls merge. Okay. So the sharing in love is not like sharing of material stuff. If you, let's say, if you have 1,000 rupees and if you share 500 rupees with someone, you are left with 500, other person is having 500 rupees. So sum of both doesn't change, isn't it? You have become poorer by 500 rupees, other person has become richer by 500 rupees. Together, the money is still 1,000 rupees. This was the paradigm of descending yoga. What is the paradigm of ascending yoga? What is love? So there are lovers. They have gone through huge journey, life after life. They have gathered their own experiences. Their soul have evolved to a certain state. Both of them, both the lovers. Now when they come together and in love when they merge, both the journeys become part of both. Are you getting it? You have gone through that journey for 2,000 years. You went through so many different dimensions. Your soul evolved. The other person also has gone through that journey for 2,000 years. Right? They came together. They merged. And now both of you access both the journeys. And not only both the journeys, but also beyond that. When the two spheres merge, much bigger sphere also becomes available. So love is a creative tool. Now, love is a creative tool. So I feel the kind of consciousness we are entering, which is very, very uncomfortable for us to feel right now. But that's how it is going to be in another 100, 200, 300 years. When you are in love, you will be together till the time that merger has happened. You have received each other fully, and then you will realize, okay, we are done with it. Say thanks to each other. There is a new lover. This is where the humanity is, the ideal state of humanity will be. So there, the question of loyalty or the commitment is very different. The way we look at commitment right now is, okay, you married me 12 years back and this is what you committed. So do you see all our commitment issues there from past? You said so in past, right? In past, you said that you will be with me till death. So in past, you made a commitment about future. That's what the commitment is. You made a promise in past about the future. That's commitment. But that's a descending yoga commitment. What is the ascending yoga commitment? Or what is a creative commitment? Creative commitment is, in this moment, I'm with you and I will do what is best for you.
because I love you. It's not about, I told you 1 year back that I love you. No, sorry. It's not about past. It's about, in this moment, I feel that deep love for you and I'm committed. I will take the best action for you, whatever is the best. And in that best action, whatever sacrifice, if I need to make any sacrifice, I will happily. And I'm not going to carry that sacrifice in future, that I made that sacrifice for you. What is the commitment in today's terms? I mean, sending you a term. Oh, I committed that to you and you committed that to me and I've made all these sacrifices. Now it's time for you to pay back, right? That's not a very high conscious state.
Can I add something? Like, what if you feel that, like what you just said about commitment? What if you feel that, that's what I felt in my last breakup that I did, that he wasn't ready for a commitment and he was asking for guarantees for me, which I couldn't give. I could give him guarantee that yes, till the time I feel the love, I'll be here. That doesn't mean that I don't love you. But like, I feel like I made a decision because I could see that he could not stand up to what he was actually feeling inside, and I could feel it. So that's what.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
So actually, these are the kind of issues we will take in this workshop. Right now, we are talking very conceptually.
Okay.
But the orientation of the workshop is going to be your personal issues.
Okay.
We will take up your personal issue. We will go deep into that. And you will discover the solutions, not that we will tell you the solutions. Because nobody can tell you your solutions. You will discover your own solution.
I keep saying.
And I can promise you, everyone's solutions, what descend on them, will be unique for them. Mansi, please, your comments.
Shivo, you really said, everything so beautifully. I also feel that, this workshop, when I look at it last time, we had gone so deep because we are all born out of this masculine feminine paradigm. We've all come to the world with that very feminine time, and the wounds are very, very deep actually. And it feels like it is a wound in one thing, but it affects everything in our life, because that is the base. That is the base of our creation. It's the base of every creation in our life. And I just want to say that last year we had gone very, 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 very deep, whether it be, and every time the participants who come decide the program, because their personal issues, where they are, will decide the flow of the program. And yes, it will go far beyond today. I think we're going to talk more about concepts and really the broad strokes, but we will be going very, very personal. There have been a lot of sexual issues, abuse issues, just how it works out in the workplace, and how it relates to relationship with the parents and how that has come into everyone's lives. So we went into many of these deep issues, and yeah. So Shivo,
Mansi, there is a very interesting comment from Nitika, and I am just I'm just feeling humorous also actually about certain things in my life. So Nitika, can you share? What you shared on chat? There is also
that is exactly
a real
Nitika,
question
from
from Kushal. There is a real question from Kushal.
Okay.
So
Nitika, can you please share?
So Shiva, what I feel is that, we, the girls, they get attracted to a certain kind of men. And once you're attracted to those qualities and all, then after you are together or maybe after marriage, you want to change those qualities. So why does this happen?
You know what is the next step to that?
What is the next?
Next step to that?
What?
If the woman is able to change the man, she will dump him, she will find another lover.
But
I can promise you that.
I don't think so. Women become successful.
You can look around. This is the truth. She want desperately to change the man, but actually spiritually she don't want him to change. She don't want him to change like he followed her. The moment he does
He's
that,
okay with no, Shivo.
the
She's okay
moment
with
he
him
does that,
changing. No, I think you're
see,
wrong.
एक मिनट मैं complete करता हूँ, then you can share. Yeah.
Okay.
So the moment he will change according to her wishes, she is no more interested in him. She's going to find another lover. In any marriage, if the woman is able to change her husband as per her wishes, she is bound to have a post-marital affair. Till she has changed him, she is very upset. She's trying extremely hard to change him, but she will remain involved with him. Another man will not come in her mind. See, these kind of dilemmas we face. It is very strange, but this is how it is.
So if that lady is going in post-marital affair, then she'll try to change him also. That's a nature.
If woman is able to change a man, she will lose interest in him.
Okay. That's interesting.
The attraction to man is that something unknown he brings.
Yeah.
A new expansion. If he has already changed according to her, what new dimension he is going to bring to her? Will there be any attraction?
No.
See, this is a dilemma. Mansi, yes, please, you were saying something.
Yeah, so Shiva, she does, I feel she does want him to change, but not according, and in fact, the more unpredictable, the better. And I think she will fight that, and she will keep testing him. I think the wanting to change him is the testing. It's like, is he going to change? Like, I'm going to try everything. Is he still going to change? Or does he have, it's all about mastery. Does he have the mastery to withstand that? So even though she might want outside, for him to change, but inside, she doesn't. She is like, is he really the master? Because I can surrender to a master. Why will I surrender to someone who's a puppet of mine? How can you surrender to a puppet?
Interesting.
You can only surrender to a master.
Yeah. Thank you, Shiv.
And she wants to surrender. There is great bliss in that. But she cannot, but she will test him. Is he worthy of that? Is he worthy?
Is he worthy of that surrender?
Yeah.
Is he worthy of...
There is another angle to this also, I would like to put forward. Of course, a woman wants, when you say strong man, she wants a strong man to be able to look up to him. That is what she wants. That even if he changes, it's okay. But as long as he changes certain things which will still not make him a subjugate, which will still not make him lose his strength, जैसे बोलते हैं, I can think of an elephant. An elephant is strong and yet gentle. An elephant will listen to you. He'll obey you. But at the same time, the final call of strength is with him. You cannot push him more than this much. It's like that. So that is the kind of a person that one, I think an evolved woman looks up to, because don't forget, an evolved woman is a very strong woman. Very, very strong. And she, aksar hota hai with women, that you see a person, you see him, you see his behavior, you see his words, and you feel, okay, he's like this. But thoda bahut, you know the person a little more. So very many men today are doing a lot of put on kind of strength. तो वो थोड़ी देर में झड़ जाती है, and the woman becomes disillusioned. And she will not wait to let him go, if she finds that, oh, I thought it was like this, but he's not as strong as I thought, or he's not as noble as I thought, he's not as powerful. She gets disillusioned, or I'll tell you another thing. This woman, this evolved woman, जब वो surrender करती है ना, वो पूरी तरह surrender करती है. तो the man sees himself कि वो यहाँ पर है. And अगर वो disillusion हो जाती है, तो then that fall is so huge that he can feel the fall. He can feel the fall. And I'm telling you this not out of just like that. I've seen this happening. Don't ask me when, where, with whom, but I've seen this happening. कि जब वो गिरता है ना, उसको भी पता लगता है मैं गिर गया. Because जब वो यहाँ है, तो एक अलग एनर्जी होती है. And if she gets disillusioned and he falls, energy
Yeah, so
change हो जाती है.
we are going to discuss these real case studies. Right now, we are not going that deep because it's a public session. Also, it needs much deeper understanding, much deeper insight into these real stories. But we are going to take up the real stories and the real insights and the real solutions. This is what we are going to take up in the workshop.
Okay.
There is also some discussion on alignment, that men want to align woman to himself and woman want to align man to herself. So this is the descending yoga consciousness. This is a consciousness of survival, that if there are two views, it is dangerous. There will be conflicts. This is descending yoga consciousness. So everybody wanted to align others with themselves. But in the era of creation, diversity of views is welcome. If there is no diversity, so why would you want to align anyone with you? I mean, why would you want anyone to change? Celebrate the person who is different from you. Create a vision where you can be together.
Yeah, Manisha has asked a question.
Yeah.
She's asked a couple of questions. And then I want to invite some questions from men also. I feel we need to hear what are their questions and what is their perspective on this. Shivo, there is one comment I had about the masculine, feminine, that really, the man, what is he changing for? That is very important. Is he changing just to please the woman? Or is he changing because that is best for the relationship, that's best for the world? I think that for me is the crux. Whether he changes or not is, yeah. So Manisha has been talking about...
If he changes to please the woman, to keep it going, the relationship is already dented.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they have created a new vision for the relationship and that requires the change, then the relationship has reached a new level.
Yeah. Absolutely. So Shivo, I invite Manisha. Manisha has been sharing that relationships because she is a teacher and she teaches teens and the youths, and she has been sharing that it seems that the relationship has become very casual and the divorce. So please, Manisha, please go on.
Yeah, pranam everyone. Shiva sir, from last 23 years, I am with the youth. And what I am seeing, it's a common problem with the youth, that they don't have any commitment. Even though I'm not talking about the commitment towards their, that is the partners, because every day I see that today they are engaged with someone, and then next day or after a few months they are engaging with someone. So they are not at all commitment. And I saw a great trauma in their behavior also, because, and the second thing, they are not at all committed for the teachers also. Neither teachers are committed for students. Students are not at all committed for teachers. And the relation between the teacher community, student community, that this is also not good.
Yeah, so one thing which I also discussed in yesterday's session, panel discussion on Russian-Ukraine conflict, I discussed about the era of Mercury. So there is an aspect of Mercury which is happening because the Mercury consciousness has gone very deep now, and Mercury doesn't allow the commitment. Mercury is more of a exploration, curious planet. So today one person has made you curious, tomorrow another person will make you curious, and there is also tendency to get bored. That's a part of consciousness. This consciousness is going to be there for another 25 years to 50 years. This consciousness is going to be there. So this is how it is.
Shiva, what do we do about it? Because boredom, even news channel, in everywhere we get bored so quickly.
Yeah.
And the boredom is it is a hindrance, right? Is it a hindrance?
Yeah. So we have to look at the higher dimensions of intellect everywhere. Even in relationship, we have to look at the higher dimension of intellect. What is the higher dimension? So when you get engrossed in what you know, then you are going to face all these troubles. But when what you know becomes a ladder to reach the unknown dimension, then there is an exhilaration and wonder. So even in relationship, can you, through what you know, can you be open to the exhilaration and wonder of the dimension of the other person you don't know? And then there could be a huge leap, isn't it? There is something you know about that person that is not even 1%. There is a 99% which is hidden inside, right? Through that 1% of knowing, can you go deeper into that wonder, into that exhilaration and that amazement which is hidden? And if that can happen, then even the 1% provides so much of the wonder that mind can engage with that. That is the way to go deep in the current era. So to quench the curiosity of mind, only way is not to keep changing the partners, but to really explore the depth of a person. There is so much wonder is hidden inside, isn't it? So this curiosity, this trying to know more, trying to experience more, is part of current consciousness. But there is another deeper way. If you follow that, then there will be no emotional connections in your life. See, and another problem, Manisha, the problem is that these issues, when you talk to teenagers, youngsters, you tend to become moralistic. What they should do, they should not, what is right, what is wrong. And it is never going to help. You will not convert a single person with your moralistic discourse. You have to be very practical. You have to see what their longing is, what their issues are, and resolve it. Instead of, this is one of the biggest conflict point today between the parents and kids. Children have some issues and parents give them a moral discourse. It should be like this is right, this is wrong, and it never works. You have to tell them what works, what doesn't. You have to tell them that in this behavior, this is how the life works, and your behavior is opposite to how life works. So you are going to be in trouble. And even if they don't understand, you let them experiment, let them try. They will understand one day, right? So ये जो हम quick route लेते हैं ना morals का, morals have become a futile route. It appears like, I mean, it appears to give you some solutions very quick. कि यार ये लड़का लड़की ये बदमाशी कर रहे हैं, इनको बुला के मैं बता देती हूँ क्या मॉरलिस्टिक है, क्या राइट है, क्या रॉन्ग है. बहुत आसान है. उनको बुला के आपने उनको एक भाषण दे दिया और उनके थोड़ा सा गिल्ट आ गया, दे विल से यस यस, उसके बाद फिर वो क्या करेंगे, तो वही करेंगे जो कर रहे हैं, बिकॉज यू हैव नॉट सॉल्व देयर लाइफ प्रॉब्लम. You have to understand what is their issue basically. तो ये you have to let go of this moral issues, this moral discourse है ना, ये हमारी बीच बीच में आदत है ये moral discourse की. और moral discourse वो ज्यादा देता है जिसके अंदर खुद के अंदर ज्यादा गिल्ट होता है, ये भी ध्यान रखना. जिसके अंदर गिल्ट नहीं ना, वो रियलिटी को देखेगा, वो ये देखेगा कि ये बिहेवियर is it in harmony with life, what issues it will create, what is the consequence of this. That person will talk on that, on in that direction, not morals. We have to let go of morals. We have to be intelligent. We have to understand the functioning of life, how life works. Mansi, anything to say on this?
Shivo, I completely
I also
agree
have
that
the question.
moral has become, yeah, and Abhishek has also asked something. So morals have really become the wall, and the only thing morals is doing is keeping us away from our kids. That is the only, it is not solving any problem, but it is creating a new problem and a new distance between us. That is what it's doing. Shivu, which question were you saying? Were you
Ranjana has raised hand, so.
Oh yeah. Sorry, Ranjana.
So
And
hi,
then-
Pranam Shivo sir. So actually, we were just talking about how if a man really changes, then somewhere she has lost him. That is what was said. But in the the Indian patriarchy way, the woman changes herself completely for the family. I've seen so many women who give up their jobs because
That's moralist. No. It's again a
and
moralist.
never opted. It's like if the woman is like,
No.
putting her.
Sorry. No. I don't accept this. This is just a moralistic compulsion which is imposed on woman, and she is now completely rebelling out of that. She doesn't want to change herself because you tell her so. वो सब पुरानी कॉन्शियसनेस का हिस्सा हो गया कि एक घर से अब तुम दूसरे घर में चली गई हो, अभी उसके घर के हिसाब से तुमको एडजस्ट करना है. वो सब बातें खत्म हो गई. अभी कौन उसको फॉलो करता है? Anybody who is expecting that, अभी जो ऐसा एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा है अपने खुद के लिए, वो गड्ढे खोद रहा है.
Correct.
खत्म है वो मामला, खत्म. That consciousness is gone.
Yeah, exactly. So that is exactly what I was trying to bring it out, that for if a man has somewhere changed and the woman has lost her there, so right now the consciousness is at that level where if you're over expecting from a woman, you've lost her right there. And it wasn't the same sometime back where the woman only had to change, the man never changed. And literally the families have done so well, they live happily, and she actually starts falling in love with that kind of a format also. She changes and she starts liking what has been changed.
So there is a huge pressure of change on both the genders. Even the man is facing huge pressure. And one of the change I feel, the pressure man is facing, let's say in the matters of parenting. Earlier, the role was very clear. Man will be the breadwinner, woman will take care of kids and family. Clearly defined roles. But now woman is also earning. So what is the specialty of man being a breadwinner? Now, how does he relate to kids? How does man relate with children? He has to discover himself, because that role is not enough that you are the breadwinner. See, the male feels very, very, overpowered and dominated by woman in the matter of kids, because woman is earning, and as well as she can take more care of children. He cannot take that much care because that's not who he is. So he also need to rediscover himself. There is a clear vision ahead for him here. He needs to reach the next level of masculinity. That was one level of masculinity, that he was breadwinner. But he need to reach the next orbit of masculine. And when he reaches that, that's when he can handle it. So we'll discuss about that also. We want to have the real case studies and the real solution.
Shivu, there's a question from Kshitij also. Kshitij is actually our first participant in the this current program that is going to start on 7th March. Do we have the poster? Atin, can you share? Can you share the poster? Rupali, can you share?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So Shivu, Kshitij, and I want to tell everyone today is like coming for a first date where everyone is sharing, the questions in that they see around, and you're just sharing a lot of things on the surface, and you're trying to get to know what it is. But the actual workshop is very much like you are in the middle of a relationship, how that happens. So just want to let people know that. So yeah, this is our workshop, Ardhanarishwar, exploring the masculine feminine dynamics in the current era of chaos. And we will have the workshop from 7th to 16th March. Can we mute? Yeah, thank you, Atin. So this is a workshop from 7th to 16th March, and it will be from 9 to 11 p.m. We will close every session with an invocation, and we will go deep into these conflicts and the deep dynamics. So if you're interested, please give your name to Rupali. And Shivo, would you like to say something?
Yeah, as you already said, this workshop is going to be about the real situations, the real conflicts, the real crisis, and the real solutions. The solutions that are unique to you, solutions that are not moralistic. They are in alignment with life, but they are not stereotyped. That's what we will reach in this workshop. That's it. We are putting forward. I know it's a very, it's something very vast, very deep for this to happen over a period of 9 days. But we have experienced a lot of miraculous shift in so many of the programs we do. So we are putting this intention at the altar of Ardhanarishwar that let it happen in the lives of many of the participants of this workshop.
Shiva, I would like to call upon Kshitij. So Kshitij is talking. Kshitij, are you here? Yeah. So Kshitij has been talking about his relationship with women in the workplace. So Kshitij, can you share your question?
For me, the issue took in the workplace. I realized I worked at different companies, and I realized I had in today's world, when men and women are supposed to be equally competent at various job roles, somewhere down the line in my life there was a pattern that my immediate reporting manager would always be a female, and I would not have a really good relationship with them in terms of the work. And there would be multiple types of demand, there would be multiple types of issues which would come up but then at the senior most level, I used to have a better relationship with those with the lady CEOs and other people. And during my first program with Quanto Life, where I was interacting with with Shivaji and Manchiji, I realized that okay, this is something which is coming up as an issue of feminine masculine energy within me. And in my second program in Quanto Life, which is the Dissolve Your Conflict, a base level program, my Quanto coach at that time, he shared with me that Kshitij, you have more of an issue with a person who is earning 10% more salary than you, but you respect a person who is having 10 times your salary. So as an employee, that was a pattern. But now over the last 1 year, I have been trying to move into an entrepreneurship mindset, and I really don't want such a kind of a similar pattern to carry on, because the world comprises 50%. Yeah. So my
Kshitij,
question was
probably
basically,
with the man, we can say there are primarily three kind of relationships. One is a relationship with mother. So with your woman bosses, especially if there are, little higher up than you may tend to see your mother in them. So if your relationship with your mother was good, you will respect them. That really depends on the relationship with mother. Same way with women, how they feel with the bosses is very much dependent on what their relationship was with their fathers. Um, with your your woman colleagues, the relationship would be very similar to what you may have with your wife or girlfriend. If you are facing conflicts there, then you may face conflict with the colleagues also. So just look into that aspect.
definitely.
And Kshitij, we will take this up deeper in the workshop. On a vibrational level. See, right now we are talking a lot on the mental levels. It's a very Mercury kind of discussion. But in that, we will be going more to the emotional and vibrational level, and what is the root cause of all these things, and really resolving it over there. Okay. So welcome to the program, Kshitij. We have, and then there were some people who had shared on the chat. There was Natika, Jaya, Jaya Yadav, Abnas, who had shared. Would any of them like to share? Abnas, would you like to
I
share?
see there are a lot of questions from. There is a question from Jaya ji. There is also question from.
There's Abhishek, Kavita.
Kavita also asked a question. So anybody would like to ask a question here?
Yeah, anyone has a burning question right now? Like they really feel like this is what I need to know or I need to ask.
May I?
Yes, Jayaji, please.
One question that I had wanted to ask really was about role reversals. Like, let's say the breadwinner becomes the woman, the man is sitting at home and looking after the children. So this is either a situation that somebody comes into, or they choose to between two persons. And this is creating a kind of a new pressure from the societal framework, not easy to accept and therefore not easy to handle. I have seen a close family going through this motion. And so I would like to understand, is this something like, is it a visionary trend? Is it something that is likely to happen, kind of a thing?
We need to look beyond this actually. We need to look beyond the roles man and woman play in a family. We need to look at their chakra structures. So the masculine chakras are the root chakra, and then the next chakra, the Swadhisthana, is a feminine chakra. The next chakra, which is the solar plexus, is a masculine chakra. Next one, the Anahata chakra, is the feminine chakra. The next one, Vishuddhi, is the male chakra. The next to that, Agnya chakra or third eye, is a woman chakra. And the Sahasrara is a male chakra. This is how it is. So unless a man is, see, what happens is that you will move from, if you want to move from root chakra, the Mooladhara, to the solar plexus, the Manipur chakra, you have to cross the Swadhisthana. So man has to have those feminine qualities of Swadhisthana if he wants to elevate to the level of solar plexus. Okay. So it's a must for man to live that femininity. But he cannot stay there. If he stays there, he will not feel satisfied. His satisfaction, his celebrating himself will come when he is staying in the masculine chakra. Same way for woman, if she want to move from Swadhisthana chakra to the heart chakra, she has to cross the solar plexus. If she doesn't cross that, she will not reach the next level of femininity. But at the same time, the woman cannot stay there. The femininity cannot stay in solar plexus. She can cross it, but not stay there. So you can apply this kind of framework to every situation, including this situation of men taking care of kids and all. So he may be in that phase of understanding the femininity, but that's not what he belongs to. He has to be in the masculine space. What he is going through is kind of apprenticeship of, he is an apprentice of his own journey. And for that, he has to go through that experience. But he will not find satisfaction there.
Thank you.
Shivo, I wanted to, when you were saying that, now this came to me that, when I look at our recent presidents in the US history, Shivo, your camera is off.
Yes, yeah. My battery is going. I will just change my phone. Yeah, please continue.
Okay. Okay, wait, I'll wait for a minute.
No, I'm continuing on this phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was just saying that, like I have observed that, during when we had President Obama, he was, in a way being a president of US is being a world leader. And, his wife, who was actually even more a successful lawyer than him, she put, this was a new, this was a grand opportunity. So, everyone kind of got aligned to whatever Obama was doing. But after his presidency, it was then he took a little bit of the back seat and took care of the kids while she did what she had to do. The same thing with the Clintons. So is this what is also happening in the world today? These are like, bigger celebrities, but this kind of
these
dynamic.
feminine experiences are a must for a man himself to grow.
Yeah.
And similarly for women also, the masculine experiences are a must.
So Shivu, because there are a lot of power couples like that these days, where both of them have a vision and both of them have a mission to go about, and one person is leading at a time. So anyone else? I see so many comments and questions. So is there, Shivu, Abhishek had a question. And then Suchi was just telling me that she's invited. We talked a little bit to Kushal. Then there's also Augustine. Hello, Augustine.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome to the forum. So for anyone new, please, if you have any comments, you're most welcome. Kushal, for you too.
It is too early for me to comment. I will just switch on.
But you're most welcome. Suchi, thank you for inviting. Kushalji, would you like to say something?
Okay, so for me, what I would say is like, as Dr. Manisha was sharing about the teens, and I see about my own journey as a childhood. So I was a rebel. Okay, I didn't know why I am a rebel. Only around 5-6 years back, when I did one of the program, I realized the rebel was it was at the age of 10 or 12. Okay, so when I was staying with my aunt, and I used to always say women are dominating, non-supportive. Okay, so that was my version of it. And I was having if you see my classroom or my school's friends, most of were boys. When I started my business, most of were men's working with me. And even when I was part of BNI, a networking group, when I work with the chapter level, even most of the chapter members were men's, no women. Like women, if they are joining, they would leave the chapter. I don't know why it was happening. But when I realized, attended the program, I got that. I was like women are more dominating. They are not supportive. They have egos and all those stuff. So when I realized, I started working with my own consciousness. And today, yes, like the way the community has grown, even my own community, connecting with the others, still sometimes it comes up, okay, like even with my sisters or even with my wife itself, okay, we always have the arguments, and I know what it would come up like, okay. So being conscious is most important. So I think that's what I would say. And it is not easy to judge someone, because everyone would have gone through their own journey. They would only realize with their own self. Most of them don't even open up. That's what I've seen. So yes, so this kind of closed program, I think it would help them to open up. Thank you.
So true, Vishal. Shivo, would you like to say something?
So the point is about being rebel is whether you are a creative rebel or you are a destructive rebel. The people who make the wonderful changes, the people who, somebody like Abraham Lincoln who ended the slavery, is also a rebel, and a dacoit is also a rebel. So being a rebel can be very beautiful. It can be a very creative experience. You could be channeling the consciousness by being a rebel. So, but see, everywhere we need to look at what is our subconscious motivation. And as soon as you are able to dissolve your subconscious pattern, there is a complete transformation immediately available. And in Quanto Life, we have the most wonderful synthesis process, which can dissolve any subconscious patterns very, very quickly.
Shivo, this is reminding me of a 13-year-old teenager we had in our hero's journey. And you know what she used to do? They used to live on the 13th floor. And outside outside every apartment, you have a little plank. So she would walk on that. And you can imagine her parents. She would walk on that, and there is nothing, okay? There is nothing. It's just free fall there. You can imagine her parents, what they go through. And she was, and they were like, what do we do with her? And that time Shiva pointed out to her that this is a rebel. But now, are you going to do this and destroy yourself? Or do you want to use that same energy? Because okay, yes, but look at that girl's courage, right? 13th floor she's going around, because that is her energy. Shiva, do you remember that? You remember who I'm talking about? I don't want to take the name.
I always remember that, actually. That one transformation gave me such a deep satisfaction, actually.
Yeah.
Because she was literally written off as a useless case. And then she completely shifted from this transformation.
Yeah. And I think this kind of rebel exists in a lot of teenagers, in a lot of kids, and it is it is an opportunity for us, because are we going to just suppress their voices and take that rebel out of them, or are we going to help channelize that? It is our responsibility. I wouldn't say it's our duty, but it is our responsibility. What are we going to do with that? Vivek, yes, I'm going to come to Abhishek and then to Abnaz. I don't know, Abnaz, do you want me to take us here or in the WhatsApp later on? I don't know where you want it, but I take Abhishek since he's been asking for a long time. Come to Abnaz and then Vivek. Yes, Abhishek. And I believe there is a connection that I think Suchi's friend Augustine and Jayaji know each other. So that is interesting how the worlds are coming together.
Since 30 years. 30 years.
You all know each other from 30 years?
Yeah.
30 years ago?
Who is this?
Augustine Jailakshmi.
Wow. Hi, how are you?
Very fun.
I didn't know you were in the group.
Can I just share something, Mansi, about Augustine here?
Yes, please.
I'll be very quick. Augustine is someone, he has worked in the UN. He's like senior to me by age, but I never feel it when I am interacting with him or I've met him and all that. He literally taught me about the Hindu scriptures.
Oh my God.
I have no idea about, deeper than anybody I have met in my life. Okay.
Wow.
He told me he has such deep knowledge about the scriptures and our scriptures, and it is so amazing. That's one thing. That's why I invited him today here.
Wow, Augustine. That is, I think it was meant to be. So, yeah, Abhishek, do you want to ask
Hello.
a question?
Yeah, it's Abhishek here. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
या एक्चुअली मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि हमारे सभी के मन में कुछ ना कुछ चलता रहता है हमेशा, या नेगेटिविटी हमेशा हमारे अंदर बरकरार रहती है. मतलब एक शैतानियत हर एक इंसान, कहा जाता है ना, हर एक इंसान के अंदर शैतान और भगवान दोनों होते हैं. तो इसलिए सिर्फ इतना पूछना चाह रहा हूँ कि वो क्या वो है कि हम ट्रांसफॉर्म कर सकें, कि हम अपने अंदर के शैतान को हटा के वो भगवान की तरफ आगे बढ़ सकें.
Absolutely. Shivo, you want to take this one?
No, Maxi, I think you please go ahead and.
Well, I think that is what we do in every program. Actually, we meet the asura in ourselves, and we walk on the journey so that he can become a deva. We observe that asura. We do not judge. We do not beat him down. We do not make it so bad that he goes and hides and suppresses himself. We just observe him, and that part of us starts on its journey towards becoming light. That darkness becomes light. And Shivo has explained, there is an amazing video by Shivo on YouTube. Quanto Life is it's our channel. And Atin, can you put it on the guest group where Shivo talks about how devas are, they are the matter and asuras are antimatter, and he explains this from a quantum physics perspective. So,
Yeah.
Augustine, I invite you also to that group and look at that. That has more of a mythological.
Like why scientific path like Quanto Life invoke devas? That's what.
कौन सा? हाँ, जहाँ वो मैटर वो जो असुरास और देवास के बारे में बोलते हैं ना, मैटर एंटी मैटर, you can post that for them.
Okay.
Yeah. So अभिषेक, वही हमारी सारी प्रोसेस रहती है कि वही शैतान को हम सप्रेस नहीं करते, हम जज नहीं करते, हम उसको ऑब्जर्व करके we transform that into life.
All transformation happens in observation, and Abhishek, almost everyone who is part of Quanto Life for whatever time, everyone has experienced that transformation. So if you want to go on
Actually, Quanto Life का concept clear नहीं है अभी. Actually मेरा first day है.
कोई बात नहीं, आप आएंगे तो clear हो जाएगा. Start with the
ये ना
journey.
ये experience है. हाँ, ये ना see, there is talk and then there is experience. So if you have to experience, you can talk about swimming, how to swim, but then you have to dive into the water to really know that. So
Yeah.
So next, so Abnas, would you like to talk here or would you like to do it on the WhatsApp? I could not quite get the.
I don't mind anything actually, because I did post it on WhatsApp. So if you want, you could take it here or you could reply. That doesn't matter.
So Shivu, Abnas, she shared about her journey, but the one thing that struck to me was that, which was very unusual for me, when she said that at one point she thought that before she had her girls, of course. So after she had her girls, it's a different story. So let the records reflect that. But before she had her girls, she was like, if I have a girl, I don't want a girl. If I have a girl, I'll give it to an orphanage. So this was her feeling about women and girls. So this was a very, very strong.
There is some kind of a pity feeling about women, and that pity she is also bound to carry it in herself, and that is bound to affect her relationship.
Yeah,
she would want to be pitied.
I'm not too sure if it was pity or more of hatred.
Hatred, okay, it could be hatred.
Why is that hatred? The hatred is coming
I had
Do you hate? Is it like a hatred for women?
Okay, maybe.
Yeah. So then,
Probably then for sure.
Then in that case, you also hate yourself being a woman, and you are trying
Sorry.
In that
didn't
case,
get you.
you hate yourself also being a woman, and you are trying to make up yourself in a way that you becomes more worthy and not an object of hate. So you may try to do a lot of things, but there the perspective is that I don't want to hate myself. I want to do good things. So do you see in the doing good things also there is a pressure? Use stress. You have to do good things so that you don't hate yourself. You have to constantly prove I am good. Do you see what kind of pressure is there in you? And that is coming from some kind of a gender identification. There is some past life memory somewhere which is forcing you to think that women should be hated. And I will not become a woman who will be hated.
As a child, I also often used to say that last minute Bhagwan ne, just forgot to put it on me and he sent me down as a girl.
Yeah, and you were very tomboyish, no? You were very tomboyish.
Yeah,
like, right
I was
from
very
the start.
tomboyish. Yes. I was very
So that's
tomboyish
how
and I
past
very
life.
often
Yeah.
I would very often say this, okay, Bhagwan, last minute he forgot to attach it on me and he sent me down as a woman, and I used to gel along with the boys very well. And even they used to, like, compared to all the other girls, they used to find it very easy to talk to me about their girls or about themselves or whatever.
So do you see?
And I never had boyfriends as a child, all my friends had it, but I didn't.
So do you see there is a huge issue of you being a woman?
Yeah.
And this has to be
I
resolved. You need to resolve this. If you really want to experience the bliss, joy, the synchronicity, the creation of life, you need to resolve this. You can continue to survive like this also. You have survived more than half of your life. You have already survived, right?
Right.
You can continue to survive like that. But if you want it to change, if you want to reach the next orbit of creation and the bliss and joy, then this has to transform. This has to go.
I also felt girls were very betrayal as a child, like amongst my friends. They would betray. They would be bitchy. Yeah, they would betray. When boys were very seedha, muh pe fatak se bol ke finish,
Yeah. So Abnas, this also reminds
me. Maybe that's why I hated girls.
Yeah. But
No,
you shared something.
Primarily, to begin with, you hated women. And then you accumulated all the reasons to support that.
Okay.
It's not the other way around.
Okay. Yeah. Mansi, what were you saying? Primarily?
Shivo, she shared something, Abnas, when you were talking about pity, that reminded me that Abnas, one of her relationships, her first probably relationship was where she was with a guy because she pitied him and he was very abusive and she continued to stay in there.
Yes.
So
for her, the man is a victim and woman is a victimizer. And that's what the relationship was actually.
Yeah.
You pitied him because he is a bechara victim. Isn't it? And yeah, and the woman is a victimizer. This is how you relate.
Okay.
So you didn't want to be the woman who would even get away from that because you were like, no.
There was
I am not that
fear.
Kind of
there was always that fear.
I am not that kind of woman who will
betray. You were like, I'm not that kind of woman. I will not betray him. He is pitied, and it just really was very, very.
Yeah, but along with all of that, there was a lot of fear that if I did, and what if he took another step, and then how will I face society?
Yeah, and he would threaten her. He would threaten her with suicide. So he really used that. The pity that you had, he really used that, like to trap you. So Abnas, these kind of imprints you would have resolved some, but they would still be there in you. Because this goes very, very deep, And that would affect your relationship even now, even if it is not playing out in the same way. You know, that was
Probably.
too intense, but it is still affecting your relationship with man.
Yes, probably.
And
You're
women
right. Thank
also.
you.
And women also. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Anyone else has any other questions? Or
Yeah, I have Vivek this side.
yes, sorry, Vivek. Yes, I was wondering. Yes, Vivek.
Yeah, Pranam Mansi, Pranam Shivo sir. After a long time, I'm connecting with.
Yes, yes.
So my question is, my entire life is surrounded with the female oriented, orientation. My mother, my 4 sisters, then 3 मेरी मुंह बोली बहन है. Then I have 2 daughters, wife. So अभी भी जो right now I am facing the problem that is in my right side of the body. And the right side of the body, I think it is the masculine masculine thing.
Yes. So you have issues with masculinity. You're very comfortable with femininity.
Yeah.
But you have issues with masculine.
Yeah, but entire life, I earning and everything, taking care of my family and everything, I did as as generally the male or the masculine, energy do. So how to
थोड़ा आप जरा
balance?
अपने फेस के पास रखना, मुझे ये थर्ड आई पे कुछ जरा पास, आप अपने माथे के पास जरा ले जाओ कैमरा.
होल है ना शिवो, डिप्रेशन है वहां पे.
Yeah. Can you take the camera closer?
Yeah, just let me spotlight him.
Yeah, I see.
Actually थोड़ा दूर है ना. हाँ, एक डिप्रेशन है, गड्ढा है. और वो एक्चुअली शिवो वो एक साइड ज्यादा ऊपर है ना, लाइक एक साइड ऑफ द बॉडी
राइट साइड में. या और वो एक साइड की तरफ वो टिल्टेड भी है एक्चुअली.
हाँ,
राइट साइड में
जो है वो राइट साइड की तरफ टिल्टेड है.
वहां देखो तुम्हारे आईब्रो के ऊपर भी वो रिज वो ज्यादा प्रोमिनेंट है ये साइड से. तुम देखो डिफरेंस देखो तुम्हारे इसमें. कैन यू ऑल सी दैट? वो जो आईब्रो के ऊपर है ना, वो रिज वो ज्यादा प्रोमिनेंट है ये साइड पे. हाँ, यहाँ पे दिख रहा है ये एक साइड के कंपेयर टू द अदर.
करेक्ट.
कैन अदर्स आल्सो सी इट? या
I think it's also his frown line. He frowns and it's caused that depression kind of a thing there.
इतना ऐसा डिप्रेशन नहीं आता है उसमें. लाइन कॉज हो सकती है.
So this also telling
But
me
it's
that
so lovely to see Vivek after such a long time.
Thank you very much. I am better now. For last few days, few
you
months.
Will be better.
I was spending time with my family evening time, so that's why playing cards, watching TV and all. So that's why I was not able to attend. So
Vivek, I'm connecting many dots here, including what you shared and what I'm seeing your third eye position and what Preeti, one reading I remember Preeti had given of your past life.
Yeah.
There is certainly a resentment about masculinity. That masculine means torturing others. Masculine means extremely aggressive, dominating, controlling. And you are resenting that part of masculine. You haven't yet, that imprint still exists that this is what masculine means and you are resenting it. There's a repentance about it. And
so
it could have something to do with your diseases.
Okay. One more thing I want to share, sir, so that you can guide me on the in better way. Lots of anger is there in my, in my entire family. Basically, father, uncle, and everyone. So I also have that anger, and I recently checked that earlier when I used
Are you
to,
angry on yourself?
yes, many times.
Yeah. That's
So,
what I see as the key actually. That's what you are struggling with.
So earlier,
You
whenever I
are
used
struggling with your own past actually. You are resenting, you are repenting it, and you are resenting it. And you really need to go on that journey very deep, very quickly, where you can observe your resentment and dissolve and discover a new side of masculinity that is of consciousness, of compassion.
okay, so one
Shiva,
major
is
difference.
this disease? Shiva, is this disease him punishing himself?
Yes, yes, it's punishing himself. There is a resentment about masculine. That men are bad, I've been bad, and I've done bad things, and that's how he has chosen a lot of feminine energy in his life. I want to be surrounded not with man but woman.
No, I have lots of good male friends also. Lots
No,
of
no.
friends, lots of friends.
No. But this is what you have chosen. What is the maximum time? Do you spend
your-
more time with females or males in a day?
Females.
Yeah, see, so you've chosen that.
So recently I found the major difference between my anger and after effect of that. Earlier, whenever I used to do anger with anyone, I went into guilt and
Yes.
deep guilt.
That's
But
your
right now,
key issue. As I said, you are resenting your own past. And if you remember the reading Preeti gave you, my memory is normally bad, but I do remember that reading. So if you see, there is the past she pointed out about you is something you are resenting. You are saying, oh my God, I did all that. Why? I shouldn't have. And that is the guilt you are still carrying.
correct. But that is a correction I already experienced in my current behavior. I used to do anger right now also few times, but now there is no guilt. It was like a energy flow.
So Vivek, you need to work on that resentment, vibrational imprints of that resentment.
Okay, so that will do the balancing of my,
Not balancing, dissolution, transformation.
Okay. Okay, got it,
Shiva,
sir.
shall we? Thank you so much, Vivek. Lovely to see
Thank
you.
you.
So,
Thank you.
Shivu, will we go into invocation now? Just to remind everyone.
So what is the issue we are taking today, Mansi?
What is the issue? What is coming up today for?
So what I think is coming up is our self-image as masculine or feminine. What do you say?
Yes, Shivu. Shivu, आज आप lead करिए, please.
नहीं, आज you conduct.
I'm not. Yeah, we'll take a 2-minute break. Yes, before we come into invocation phase. Shivu, you have to explain it to me. Our self-image.
So do you think that's what we should take up today?
I think so because Vivek ji has also shared, and I think a lot of people I think a lot of questions were about that. So by self-image, what do you mean? Do you mean
self-image, which is coming from a gender stereotype. Man, in fact, you can also take the gender stereotype of the other gender also. So what is the gender stereotype you feel in yourself? Like in Abna's case, women are like that, but I will not be like that. So she is struggling. And in that struggle, she is trapped by the clever, the cunning masculine. Isn't it? So like Vivek is resenting his masculine past. So we all have since I am a man and men are like that, so I am like that. This is a gender stereotype. Huh? Since I am a woman and women are like that, so I am like that. This is the gender stereotype.
So should we take up in our imprints how away we are, like whether we are
How
following
our
them.
gender is, what is
Yeah.
my image, what is my perception about my gender,
And what is my, and how am
how
I?
it has
What
shaped
is
my
my
own
perception about
self-image.
myself? Yeah. How is my perception of myself after that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Shivo, shall we take people sharing? I don't know what sharing you can take. So, while you all think, how many new people do we have? New people? Do I need to explain the process? Right? How many do we have new people here who have not done synthesis process?
Yeah.
Okay, so Anurag, I'll explain. Anyone else who's here and who has not done the process ever? Okay. So, yeah, did I hear anyone else? Okay. So, Shivu, so what is the, so shall we invite sharing, or can you tell what people can share? People can share whether, what do you think is a woman, or a, whatever your gender, what are the stereotypes, and whether you are like that.
Other issue is, there is a reverse issue. There is a issue of where you are condemning your gender. There's also issue which is opposite, where you are justifying your gender. Because the men are great, so I'm like that, and this is kind of a narcissist feeling. And because the women are great and I'm a woman, so I am great.
I'm better. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm better. Even that issue of narcissism.
Okay. Can I invite people to start sharing what they're going to take up, especially what is coming up for you? Can you share in the chat so we'll be able to guide you better? And then in 2 minutes, we'll be going into invocation. So while people share, Anurag, I just want to share the process. So what we'll be doing is first just sit yourself comfortably in Sukhasana and keep some space away so you can directly go into Shavasana or relaxation. Okay, so if you're on the bed, perfect. If you're on the chair, just relax. So just remove some stuff away so that you can directly go into Shavasana. We keep our eyes closed throughout the session. Keep your palms open.
Okay. I know this. I've done this before. I didn't know that's called invocation, but I've done this.
Yeah. Okay.
In the last section.
So we will be doing, so what we'll be doing is we'll scan the body. We will go into 3 different kinds of pranayama, and then we'll go into we will look at whatever is the issue and we will feel it in our body. So it is not enough to just think about the issue. We feel it in our body and we observe it. Okay. So the pranayam is kind of designed to raise your vibration. So first we are just becoming more aware of our body. We are becoming aware of our aura. The pranayam, the breathing exercises we are doing raises our vibration. And then from that raised vibration, we are observing. We are observing where the issue is stored in our body. Okay. How does it feel? And we keep observing that. We go into the vibrational field of the issue. And when we go into Shavasana and relaxation, it starts dissolving. So, Dr. Monga, yeah, it is, full stomach, like a half empty stomach is the best, I feel, for this. But if it's full stomach, it's okay. It's okay for now. And
What if it's empty?
Yeah, as long as you're not very hungry, in that case, drink some water and then come in. The only reason is, I think that, you don't want your stomach growling and thinking about food all the time. So I think half empty.
That's not happening, but am I going to sleep after this? Like last time I slept.
You can actually.
Oh, but I have to cook.
You can if you want. You can. But we recommend at least people be in Shavasana for 10 minutes after this. 10 to 15 minutes, yeah. That is the most important step of the whole thing. So anyone wants to share what issue they're taking up today? I think the issue I'm going to take up is that I had the fear that I might become, like, if I start doing certain things, I might become too masculine. So this was a fear I had. And I would see people around me, especially in research, try to become more masculine. And I felt that if I were in research, then I would have to become that. So I would take up that fear, which is reduced. But I think since Shivo said we need to be 100% feminine, 100% masculine, That fear is reduced, but I'll take that up. Anyone else wants to share what they want to take up? We have quite people.
I just had one thing to say. Can I?
Yes, please.
See, throughout this, like I've been listening since 9 to, and one thing just I wanted to ask if I'm right or wrong in this. It's been some 15 years I stay alone. Okay, and I've been working since my school days. I've been working, and now I'm at a very good position and all. Whatever discussions were going on now, I think I am very practical, and I never got emotional when it came to the female front. And every time it was career in head till now. Naturally, attractions stay, but then I never felt the urge to, take it ahead. So whatever was going on, I have read this almost entire Shiva Puran, right? So the thing is, Ardhanarishwar is something which I know the concept of it, but I have never felt it. Maybe I was too practical for it, or I couldn't discover myself in the whole 2 hour thing. So will the
Your
workshop help?
relationship with feminine, right? You have not explored that side, right? That entire side of life.
There could be like irritation about it. यार इतना झंझट है यार ये सब क्यों इसमें फंसे
No. Sorry, it's not at all like that, because see, being in the defense, forget about defense. But then, for me, even I am a research scholar. If a female does something, जब दिमाग लगाती है ना, तो I tell her, अरे what you just thought, I could have thought after 2 mistakes. So I respected them wherever they did that thing. I never felt that male ज़्यादा है, female कम है, या female ज़्यादा हो गया. It was always parallel for me. So when people used to talk about feminism and all, मैं बोला ये क्या होता है? ये किसी की तो सोच होगी जो शायद वक्त के साथ बदल जाएगी. I could always see it, me going parallel with the opposite gender. So the same appreciation, the same criticism जो मुझे मिलता था, मैं वही frankly बोलता था. So that made it. I think I was more practical on that. So maybe this workshop will help me more to explore myself in this. I don't know where it will take me, or if anyone of y'all can help me, because it's really interesting to know a lot of things जो मुझे कहीं पता ही नहीं था.
So Anurag, I feel like you have appreciated women, but you have not necessarily been attracted to the feminine. There's a difference between a woman and the feminine. Okay.
Okay, maybe
there is
maybe
see, I'm a woman, but I have masculine and feminine parts of myself. Maybe the feminine part is more, maybe the masculine part is less. In some women, the masculine part will be more and the feminine part will be less. Usually for a woman, the feminine part is more, usually. Okay, but it may not be so. And I feel that your connection to women is that connection to feminine has not happened. Connection to woman has happened, but that deep connection to the feminine, the warmth, the emotional bond, the bliss, all those those things haven't quite happened. And I feel you have created a lot in life. Yeah.
What transformation could happen by the union that has not opened up probably.
Yeah. So I feel you have been very successful.
There is appreciation, but there is also separation.
There's separation.
Man hai and woman hai, and I can appreciate woman. But that union within has not happened.
Anurag, and when that happens, you will create something new. I feel right now you have been successful, but there is a whole new level of creation that happens after you have really bonded with the woman, when you experience that bliss. And that dimension, I feel, is lacking right now. if you don't
No,
mind.
I just exhibited this or expressed this because the way I behave with my male colleagues, honestly, on this platform, I would like to share. I have no friends. Okay, I have no friends at all. नहीं तो मैं शायद job के बाद 2 घंटा यहाँ नहीं बैठता. So the way I treat my male colleagues, the same way I the female colleagues, like I have seen my male guys, they behave differently when a female comes into picture. मतलब आप दरवाजे के बाहर जा रहे हो तो they will pull the door and stand till the woman passes. Okay, and they say कि ये respect होता है. When we go to a restaurant, they'll ask the waiter, plus first serve the lady and then serve me. Okay, but मेरे साथ कोई भी हो मैं यही करता हूँ. Even if a male is, I have a male friend, I open the door and stand, sir, please. If I go to the restaurant, I say, okay, serve first. मुझे आर्मी में भी यही सिखाया गया कि respect the woman. I had gone to a colonel sir's place. He had invited me for dinner. I wished him good evening, sir, and then I said good evening, ma'am, and he said, Anurag, please come out. He took me
Anurag,
out.
do you see that you're not appreciating the difference? You want to treat them, you don't want to treat everything the same.
Exactly. So my last statement, I won't take much time. So when he took me out of the quarter bungalow, and he was like, Anurag, you know what? You should have first said good evening, ma'am, and then good evening, sir. I said, how does that make a difference? He's like, always respect the woman first and then the
नहीं,
men.
ये मुझे लगता है ये सब बहुत surface respect होता है जो ये लोग बोलते हैं. I don't agree with all this. I don't agree with all this.
तो मैंने कहा,
this is not a soulful behavior. This is a moralistic behavior.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that became a formality for me. So every time I used to meet a defense
So
lady, I was like, good.
You need to go deeper into the energies.
Maybe, yes.
It's a moralistic relationship. It will not do much in life, actually. It may serve you socially in some ways, but it wouldn't take you to your soul.
Shivo, and he's not doing it, no, because he feels that it is so surface and so far, like it doesn't make any sense, which we all agree.
I don't do it.
Yeah. So, but this is much deeper, like really going into the depth of what a feminine is and appreciating that. It's not about just about treating everyone the same. There is a difference between the feminine and masculine, and to celebrate that difference, to know the difference and to celebrate it. They are equal, but doesn't mean they are the same. Man and women are equal, but not the same.
I'm trying to understand what you're saying because my parents tell me this thing since I was 26. Now I'm 32, and I'm not planning to get married. So they tried to get Vedic literature to me, and they're like, "Okay, Hindu mythology mein there is something called Gruhastra Ashram, and every male has to take care of a family member." And I put forth my idea that my ultimate goal in life is I'm 32, and at 40 I have my whole plan set to open up an orphanage for 30 kids, 30 orphans, and raise them till they reach till they get a job or get married. So if I am planning for 30 families, तो क्या वेदा में ऐसा लिखा है कि गृहस्थ आश्रम से खुद का फैमिली होना चाहिए? I'm ready to take up the responsibility of 30 families. That's my ultimate goal of life. And so I'm not getting it's not like so I'm not getting married, but because I'm not getting connected to it, and मुझे सब कुछ same ही लगता है. So I don't know, like if this is going to change me. The change.
Anurag, I am sensing here a fear of emotion.
See, fear of emotion होता अगर कहीं पे कभी emotionally मैं गिरा होता या कुछ सफर किया होता.
नहीं.
You created armor.
वो already वो एक past life से आ रहा है from somewhere. There is a fear of emotion, and from the day you were born in this life, you made sure that you will not emotionally get involved. You will do your duties, you will do the morals, but not get emotionally involved. This is the sense I'm getting.
So
it's coming
it's
from
like
some of your past life.
Okay, so it's related to past lives, mate. Okay, fine.
Of course, yes. Whatever patterns which get triggered in our current life, they were seeded somewhere in some past life.
I can see some comment also saying that मैंने कवच बनाया है. It may seem like that, but I can answer myself if I'm thinking on it. I have not made any barriers.
नहीं अनुराग, वो हो जाता है, वो जब ऐसा एक्सपीरियंस होता है ना तो वो हो जाता है. It is not very consciously done. Now what can happen in this workshop is you go into that vibrational field of the sea. We are talking right now. In that you go to that vibrational field of what it was. Okay. And then that gets dissolved, and then you will see the change in your life. When that gets dissolved is when you start seeing, you know. So that is a journey, whether you want to take that journey or not.
So if that's going to be beautiful, I'm into it. Let's see.
Okay, welcome. Most welcome, Anurag. Most welcome. So shall we start the invocation? I see a lot of sharing here. Okay. So Shivo, shall we start?
Yes.
Yeah. Shivo, who are we invoking today? Ardhanarishwar or the space, or what are we?
Or we can, because it is self-image, so we can invoke, let's invoke Rudra.
Shiva, shall we gaze? Or no? Okay. Shall we just get started? Atin, do you have Rudra handy? Do you have Rudra image handy?
Yeah.
So I invite everyone to sit comfortably, and you can keep your eyes open while we gaze. And when we gaze, you know, I want you to gaze not just with your eyes, not just with your third eye, but as if your whole body, one by one, I'll be taking the names of the part of the body, and you will gaze at that whole image with your whole body. Like your head is looking at the image, your arms are looking at the image, everything, your whole body is looking at the image. Okay. And so we'll get started. And of course, after I announce Shavasana, we will close the session. But I look forward to hearing your comments, and we'll continue this discussion. Okay. After the experience. So, Atin, you're sharing? Thank you, Atin. Atin?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you sharing?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Atin. We have a wonderful team here. Atin is one of the backbones of Quanto Life, and amazing psychic. We have Preeti, who's, you would have heard her name today, amazing psychic. We have Nitika, who really is a amazing, has great emotional intelligence, and it's just a natural born organizer and a leader. And we have Suchi, who's our ambassador for this workshop. So just and of course Rupali is our Quanto angel. Without her, things don't manifest. So we have a wonderful team. So really bow down to all of them. Looking forward to working with them. And of course Shivo. So please be comfortable and keep your eyes half closed. Very gentle gaze. And observe your breath. And gaze at Rudra. There might be a part of Rudra that is really attracting you. For me, it is his eyes. For you, it could be his hair. It could be the weapons. It could be the mountains. It could be the dogs. It could be his pose, his yogic pose. So just gaze at Rudra. And with every breath, feel your breathing his energy in. Feel he's entering you. Feel the space on top of your head. You can feel probably that space 2 inches above, or even go higher up to 6 inches or more. And from that space, gaze at Rudra. Feel the top of your head. And from there, gaze at Rudra. Observe him entering your body through your head. If you don't feel that, just observe that you're not feeling it. If you cannot feel your head, just observe that. Feel Rudra filling your head with this energy. He's entering your eyes, your third eye, your nose, your lips, your cheeks. He might even be merging with you. Feel your neck, your shoulders, your arms. And even while he's entering your arms, you may feel the energy and vibration in other parts of your body also. Just observe. Maybe the Naga is entering you. Maybe it is the tiger skin. Feel the palms of your hand. Feel him entering through your palm nerves. Feel your lungs, your heart, your chest. And observe what is entering you. For me, it is the Akasha that is around, that is entering me. Feel your intestines. Feel your genitals. If there is any pain or any disease in one part of the body, if you're not able to feel one part of the body, pay particular attention there. Feel your legs, your knees, your ankles, the soles of your feet. Whatever you can feel, Rudra can enter and heal. Feel the back of your head, the top of the head going down the spine, the neck, every vertebrae, slowly. Go all the way to the base of your spine. The hips that you're pressing on as you connect the ground. Gently close your eyes if you haven't. And now feel your whole body. feel what is beyond the body? Are you able to feel your aura? How does your aura feel? How does your body feel? Feeling your body and aura as a whole. And feeling everyone who's around in this workshop, in this session. And now feeling the space between you and the others, in front of you, behind you, around you. And now together we invoke the quantum vibrational field. Join me in invoking it. Quanto, quanto, quanto. We are all now in the quantum field consciously. And now we invoke Rudra, who has come into us and into this field. We invoke him formally. I invoke Rudradev. I invoke Rudradev. I invoke Rudradev. And I bow down to him. Today he comes to me like a mirror. He is completely like a mirror. Like Manas Sarovar, where we can all see ourselves very clearly. We can see our own sex, our own stereotypes. We will observe our breath, filling our belly. And even the breath will make us more clearer, helping us to see ourselves better. So just observe your breath. Feel your belly rise and fall as Rudra enters you. Now we will do a humming. We'll do 5 hummings. Because our voice is also a mirror that will show Rudra and help us see. So breathing in from deep within your diaphragm. Listening to the silence. Now breathing through our heart. Feel the region of the heart. And with every heart chakra breath, we will allow Rudra to enter our heart even more deeply. Breathe in, raise your shoulders. Breathe out, make the sound. Ha. Ha. Bring your shoulders down. Ha. Breathing, raise your shoulders. Breathing out, making the sound. Ha. Bringing shoulders down. Ha. And now we will go into how do you really see your own gender? As a woman, how do I see woman? If you're a man, how do you see man? What are the words coming up? You can say these words aloud and feel its vibration in your body. Observe, where are you feeling these words? Where are you feeling them in your body? Yes. Stab. Is it uncomfortableness, butterflies? Do you feel it in the nose? Is there heat? Is there pressure? Just observe. Observe your relationship with the primordial being, the first being we had that relationship of our own gender with. If you're a woman, check your relationship with your mother. For a man, check your relationship with your father or father figures. What are the incidences coming to your mind? Feel them in your body. I'll be quiet for some time as you share these incidences with Rudra. And wherever you're able to feel them, Rudra will enter. Rudra is reminding me to say that these could be childhood incidences, which might seem very trivial right now, but they are important. How do you feel of yourself as a man or a woman? What are you not comfortable with? What are your wounds? Go into those incidences and feel in your body. Do you feel you're not good enough? Is there any female or male stereotypes that you detest? Go into those incidences that have made you question your worth. If you would like to sit longer with your incidences, please do so. If you feel ready, let us go into Shavasana and into relaxation, so all these Shaktis, chaotic, can meet Shiva. So please lie down as flat and as straight as possible. Very important to keep equal weight on both sides of your body. Thank you so much for joining us today, and please share your experiences. They are very valuable to me. On the group, and see you soon. Lots of love. We will close the session now.